Howdy, folks. Just want to talk about some current events. We're seeing a lot of stuff with what happened in Minneapolis, and it's kind of spreading around the country. But what people don't understand it right now is during the American Revolution, it took 13, 14 years of people complaining and begging the crown to stop. And who were they really complaining about? The redcoats, which were essentially the police of the time. You know, a tyrant can only enforce his tyranny if other people do it for them, right? I mean, all the atrocities that ever went down in the history of the world were done by people just following orders, just taking orders, doing exactly what they were told to do. It's really no different here. Hey, George. Hey, Daniel. Now the DA in Minneapolis says that he can't see where there's any wrongdoing. You know, he didn't think he broke procedure. Well, I looked up the Minnesota statute, and he's kind of right. I mean, it says excessive force, but it doesn't spell out or label excessive force. So that tells me that it's the system is broken. So people that operate in a broken system are used to breaking the rules and knowing that they have protection under it. As far as this looting up there, I don't advocate for any of it, and I don't think, hey Kevin, Hubert, so I don't advocate for any looting or anything like that, but this is what happens. You know, a crowd, an angry mob, an angry crowd takes on a life of its own, kind of like the Amazonian ants. You know, they destroy everything in their path that it comes into. I mean, and that's what happens here. You know, they did start. I mean, I'll give them credit. They started. They burned down. Not so much burned down. They took all the windows out of a police precinct and started that, and then they moved on to other things. You know, it's a feeding frenzy, so to speak, and that anger all comes out. Businesses can be replaced. I mean, things can be replaced. Human lives cannot. And I mean, if anybody can ever watch that video and believe that that man wasn't brutally murdered, then they seriously got something wrong with him. I mean, that man was murdered. You know it and I know it. They need to be brought to justice. Now, here is the good for me, not good for you system. These people nobody's been arrested. If you or I had done this, we'd be in jail right now waiting to go to trial, waiting to be arraigned and waiting on a grand jury indictment and all kinds of things. Why is it because they wore a badge and wore a blue uniform, they get to stay at their homes with their families? I don't understand it. And this is what we need to stop. I mean, we need to hold these people accountable. If this is what it takes, I'm sorry to say it, then so be it. I just say everybody be safe, be careful. If any of you go to these protests, be careful. I mean, you know, we don't need to lose anybody else over this. And I'm sure that some people are going to die on both sides. And it's absolutely a shame. But people have been asking and begging. I mean, the black community has been talking about this for years. And nobody's listening. Nobody was listening. I don't even know that they're listening today. It's really a shame. And I just wanted to kind of touch base and tell everybody hi. Thanks for tuning in. I love all y'all, and talk to you later.